Was home when you left. You're right. Your sister was home when you left. You're right. Your brother was home when you left. You're right. The dog was home when you left. You're right. The cat was home when you left. You're right. The fish was home when you left. You're right. Your mommy, your daddy, your brother, your sister, the dog, the cat, the fish was home when you left. You're right. And that's the reason you left. You're right.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson talk show. Today is January the 6th, 6 days into the new year. What have we to show for where our country is going in this new year? What have we to show in the United States of America? As Reverend Warnock has just won one senatorial seat in Georgia, and the second seat is still up for grabs. As our country in Liberia continue on this confused path of existence, this confused life that we cause for ourselves, where are we going? 6 days into the new year. What have we to show for the progress, the future, the advancement of our people and our country? Let me put up my topics and let's get into my lessons. My first topic today: what is the sycamore tree? CDC. Number 2, who are the rich men in Liberian society today? And number 3, who can or will trust George Weah to work for or with him? What is the sycamore tree of CDC? Ladies and gentlemen, of lately, we've always known that our people practice Juju, Sumu-Yayah, what other African signs you can call Adona, and all these things. We've known it from time immemorial. For us who play sports, we have sung, Adona, give me power. Adona, give me power. You better watch out, fuck it, we are. Commander Chesson will put you down soon. Adona, give me power. We sang all those songs. So Adona, Juju, Sumu-Yayah, they're nothing new in our country. But as Christians, prior to 1980, we held high our Christian religion, our Christian faith. And you see all these changes in our country came with Tolbert. We knew Totman had the voodoo and things going on. He led ritualistic killing too. People used to accuse him of it too during those days. But under Tolbert, people started talking about Tolbert wearing ring on his toes and all kind of Juju thing is keen. And this is where it started from. Now that Tolbert died, Joe came to power, the juju and the voodoo got worse. Got worse. Now 40 years later, our country is infested with juju, witchcraft. Our Christianity has lost its significance in Liberian society. I listened to Boima JV Boima, the young man who just left George Weah government and went to self-exile because George Weah sleeping with his wife and his life is threatened. So he's in exile now and revealing all the secrets of George Weah government. And all the thing rests on juju, on voodoo. Government official putting something in the other official food, trying to kill the other government official with juju. Take even the CDC ritual for membership under the sycamore tree is infected with voodoo and witchcraft. What kind of ceremony do you have to carry under a sycamore tree to join a political party? You mean just to join a political party now, you got to go sell your soul in some ritual under the sycamore tree? My children, this is insanity. This is not a Christian nation. Our country has been so devoid of Christianity. I don't know if even Jesus want to come back to that country. Maybe he will just let us kill him to the point where we're not believing juju and voodoo no more. Because these are the things harming our country. I listened to Boima JV Boima talking about how when you join the CDC, when they carry you under the sycamore tree, you got to do your ritual. After all your rituals, then you accept it as a member. So what are those rituals our young children are doing to join CDC? What are you committing yourselves to, my children? We cannot continue to sell our souls. We cannot continue to sell our spirits. We cannot continue to sell the heart of the Republic of Liberia behind this juju and voodoo business. We deserve better. We deserve better. We deserve leaders who are conscious of their duties and responsibilities and not relying on supernatural power to elevate them to places where their mental capacities cannot take them, where their education and their learnings cannot take them. Voodoo cannot take you there. You can deceive the people as much as you want with your voodoo. But when it comes to being incompetent, useless, and worthless, we see it through your work, through your product, through what you produce. And what has George Weah and the CDC government produced in Liberia so far? Nothing but cheap, useless things. Even the feeder road, the billing, cheap and useless. All of them, they're stealing our money. It's all a corruption game and of deception and lies. And I will not leave Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf out of this. She's just as much in it as these criminals. So where are we going with our country? What is this sycamore tree we always under? Our leadership always going to the sycamore tree for what? What is the essence of having all those kind of things? Our country is a Christian nation. We cannot profess Christianity and at the same time talk about juju and voodoo and all these kind of things. How can we expect any grace from God? How can we expect any direction, any betterment for ourselves and our spirits when our minds are confused? We don't know whether we're Christians or Juju. We don't know what works and what don't work. And Liberians have come to the point where our society is in the underworld. Did you all hear Deborah Croman the other day talking on her show? It makes me scared to associate with women and men in Liberia. Because a woman wants you and she believes to have you, she got to go to a voodoo man and sleep with a voodoo man. What good is that woman to you? You love a man. You want to keep the man. You go sleep with a voodoo man to make voodoo to keep that man. Who are you? You no use. You are no use. You don't know whether your husband is sleeping with her or not. You assume it. Even you know it. Is that a way to go keep your husband? To go sleep with a blind-eyed man with a honey to get juju? When I heard that story, I got sick to my stomach. I don't even know if I trust women no more. Because you can't say that like women alone doing. All these women into some kind of supernatural thing to keep men. And men do it too. Not only women. What you think all the evil men doing? They try to put things in the women food too. They try to take women to juju and all those kind of things too. Everybody love security. Everybody love somebody they can trust and depend on. But it's hard. It's hard when people go to the underworld, to the dark world, and sell their souls for their husbands or their wives. I mean, when I heard that story, I was sick to my stomach. Because you can warn your husband, then you go sleep with a voodoo man you didn't even know that probably didn't wear protection to have sex with you. This thing been going on for a long time. It's been going on for a long time. Wives leave their husband and go sleep with voodoo people in the bush and take the fluids to put in their husband's food to make them eat it. How can you live with these people? Right now, when I hear that kind of thing, my stomach start getting sick because what you giving me to eat? Another man's semen? What is this? What is this kind of this functional, useless crap going on in our society? Why would I want to come Liberia to find a Liberian wife if I know I'm gonna be subjected to all this dark underworld evil stupidness? Playing with my food. When I see my food to go cook my food, you put all kind of shit in the food. That's the Liberian way. That's juju. Whenever you go to the indigenous people for juju, you got to put something in people's food. You got to wear something in their drink. You got to do something to get next to them. How would a person get next to you spiritually if you don't have a connection or attachment to them? And we may hear about all these things and think it's frivolous. It's not. This is real life thing we're talking about. This is real life thing. So when you see all these women running around Liberia, you gotta wonder where you going into. Where you eating all of them dressed up in beautiful dresses and gowns and things. What are they putting in your food? What are they fooling around with you with this juju underworld thing? Who wants to come in Liberia to be around people who don't care about love or even understand love? Everything is juju. Juju, juju. And you think juju love that love? Juju love is not love. It's a tormenting love. Because when you control the person's mind and put in their minds that you are the only person they must love, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. You don't want a man following behind you everywhere you go, or a woman following behind you, or you treating them like animals, talking to them, everything you tell them to do it, yes, yes, yes. What kind of life is that? Is that love? To have the man under your control? He's not a man no more. He separated himself from his family, his sisters, his brothers, his everybody. just to be under you? Is that love? I don't know what kind of love is that. But we got to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. And all of this starts with the leaders of the Liberian society. If our leaders are practitioners of Juju and witchcraft, and their being to power is a semblance to our children of the path to power by Juju, witchcraft, and all that kind of thing, they will practice it. And that is why the actions of the leaders, the sins of the leaders are transferred to the people. Because if the leaders using Juju and using women or all the kind of things for sacrificial means to stay in power, and they are in power, and people see them in power and want to be where they are, our young children would think that using voodoo and Juju to keep women and keep power are the right things. And they're not. They're not. You can't build a nation on love for women, for your personal women, sleeping with women. You can't build a nation like that. And the more women you sleep with, the more problems you will have. So all these kind of things add to the sins of our fathers. And the sins of our fathers are transferred to the children, one way or another. So if you're got to keep on going under the sycamore tree, which is simplicity, how you go give your life to a political party by going to a sycamore tree and performing rituals that are spiritual in nature to be with a political party? How will you tie your life to a political party where you can change anytime, where you can disagree with, stand against? Yes, some people say that the CDC for life and all the kind of thing. That's your life. Y'all want to go on the sycamore tree? Y'all go on the sycamore tree. But how would that save our country? Now look at more and more political parties springing up all over the place. Now Ellen now form another political party called the Alternative Liberation Party or something else. You know, all these criminals come in and destroy our country. We haven't punished them. We haven't taken their wealth from them. So they feel they can come back and reinvent themselves in our society to steal from us. This is the problem when we do not punish our rogues. When people steal and we forgive them and they think that they got rights and privileges over the Liberian society to come back time and time again and deceive us and put themselves over us. Our country will never grow because all of us are under the sycamore tree of deception, of lies, of stealing, and rampant corruption. We are all under the sycamore tree. I don't know for the CDC or what, but we got to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. I want to remind all my Liberian people again that my only request for donation is a one-time $5 request from every Liberian in the world, in Liberia and in the diaspora. I ain't gonna count it. I ain't gonna push it. You gotta be honest to yourself. And you know what you want to do with your money. But I'm telling you, I need money to do what I want to do in Liberia for my Liberian people. I don't want to work for government. I want to be a part of any leadership apparatus in my country. I want to set up the foundation that I will implement for the advancement of my youth and children. Support Attorney Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson and see your money grow and your lives change. Aluta! Continua. My second lesson. Who are the rich men in Liberian society today? I want to see them. I really want to see them. I want to see all the rich men in my society. Where are the rich men? Benani Ewart, Nathaniel McGill, Alec Tyler, Vonnie Sherman, Robert Sirleaf, Charles Sirleaf. Who are the rich men in Liberia today? Show me one rich man that became rich on his own without stealing from the Liberian government, and I will raise a glass in their honor. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen any rich Liberian man yet. All the rich people in Liberia I see walking around there bullshitting, passing all their money around. The Liberian people money. Benani Ewart, Liberian people money. Anybody you point to in Liberia of prominence is a rogue. So who owns our money? Why you think I'm asking you all for money? You think I come to join that fray of Liberian criminals stealing from our country and coming back and seeing they are honest men who made their money the hard way? How did you make your money the hard way when you came to government without a penny? What do you think? Money just grows on trees? When you come to the government, then you can have access to the money tree and just go pull the money off the tree and say you're honest? That's why our country needs to be overhauled. All these rich people in our government got to tell us where they got their money from. And that's why I'm a military man. I ain't got time for deception or lies or foolishness or trickery or BS. You sit down. I want to know how you got rich and Liberia got poor. That's the only question I want to know. So with that question, you got to go bring all your documentation. You got to bring all your evidence to prove how you made your money so we can scrutinize it and add the law aspect to it to see if you really pass all the obstacles to owning your property as a government official. But people can't just come in our government, all of a sudden they're rich overnight. They're building 4-5 houses. They got 6-7 cars sitting down. They're collecting money from people, no report. They're taking money to their homes and putting it in their private houses. I hear some a big got 2 rooms full of money. It gotta be true because wait, these people not putting the money in the bank. They can't take it out of Liberia. Where is it? Where is our money? How would people just get rich overnight and Liberia stay poor? You see, and people say, oh, you don't bring other people on your show. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about other than the same thing? People are stealing. There's no accountability in our country. Our leaders are incompetent. And besides that, they are massive rogues. They have stolen from time immemorial. Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf need to bring to book for her aspect and corruption and stealing in Liberian people government. Her nepotism alone is a crime she should go to jail for. So, who are the rich men in Liberian society? Y'all please show me them. Please show me them. I want to see the Liberian people that made money on their own. If there's even one in Liberia, that's why one is enough. My young children, we can't depend on leaders and people who betray us all the time, who lie to us all the time, and who we know in the bottom, from the bottom of our hearts, are not fair and just. Why are we following these same people? You got to sit down. You got to put your minds together. You got to think, and find solutions to your own problem. The answer is right there. But you got to think about it. Look into it, and you'll find the truth. Okay, so I just read your comment about burning the new government officials to pretty with witchcraft. But I think that's going back to the Silla witchcraft era. That's funny, so. Should be publicly burned. As I said, anybody coming to power and doing witchcraft business should be publicly burned. Okay, wait. That's funny. So let me get into my last topic, my people. Sorry. Who can or will trust George Weah to work for or with him? This government is in a dire situation now. This government is a dire situation. And we learned from 1980 that how my father got killed. After Tolbert came on the air crying and all of that, the society people, the same society people, Masons, went to my father and forced my father to accept the position of Attorney General to come back to salvage the Liberian Republic. And when my father got in there, it was too late. It was too late. Tolbert and his family were confused. They didn't know who to trust. Tolbert was not strong enough to maintain the country. He needed people to help him. Then when my father went there to help them, they got scared of my father too and said my father murdered or through the government. He loved too much power. So the security forces they built to protect Tolbert, which I was supposed to be a captain of, that door turned into the Sato unit and almost killed all of us, was disbanded because Tolbert family thought that Chesson wanted too much power. And by forming this security group to protect Tutman, by forming this security group to protect Tolbert, it will give Chesson too much power. And they decided not to do it. That left the mansion of Republic of Liberia open to foreign and domestic forces to come into our country and kill Tolbert. And the same list of people that they have valid and vetted to go to Israel to train to come to protect Tolbert, of which I was a member on that list. The same people told them wanted to kill all 500 of us because they said we're Tolbert loyalists. I got the news from the mansion. The person keep calling me a kid. I said, we're going to list you also. You also going to list the guy who won't get rid of you. I said, we're going to list is that. Finally, it came out. Then I said, oh, that list? Do guys still got that list? Well, look, Duo sent his boys, 500 boys from the Crown tribe to Israel to come protect him. And they call them Sato. So that's how the Sato unit came about. But we've been through this thing for so long. And we're going through it with George Weah again. George Weah president. All the people he got around here are criminals. All the people he got around here are rogues. He's not checking on them. He doesn't have the intelligence to check on them. He doesn't have the intelligence on how to run a country, just like Doe. So now all the people he thought he knew and loved are the same people who are stabbing him in the back. Now he doesn't trust nobody. He wants to bring new people in who good in their minds will serve under George Weah, who love Liberia and want to see positive change in Liberia will go and put their hands in the mess of that fray. That's why I didn't join no society in my life. I didn't join nothing. I ain't obligated to nobody but what is right. That trick they pull on my part to take into society to be minister that caused us to suffer today ain't happening no more. Because before when people go work for George Weah, they gotta know his record. They gotta know where he stands in Liberian society, what his possibilities are of leading our country for another 3 more years. What would be the stains on their hands by trying to salvage this government from the corruption and murders and stealing it has committed? Who can work with or for George Manuel Weah? You must be an idiot. The time of the Liberian people is now. My children, I don't like to get in too much talking and too much lessons because we talk the same thing over and over until we take positive steps to change our lives and livelihood in Liberia. We just be talking. And the Tony Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson is not a man to talk. I am a man of actions. Less words, more action. The life of a soldier. My young children, the destiny of our country is in your hands. I'm teaching you all of this so you can understand the different branches of ramifications in our society of things that impact us, that make us succeed or make us fail. And once we understand all these things and the in-depth understanding and learning of how it impacts our lives, we'll be better able to make changes for ourselves and our people and our future. The time of the Liberian people is now. And Tony Commander J.R. Galpohkpa Chesson cannot come down to Liberia to talk to you. That's why I'm making all these videos, getting up early in the morning to do it for you. So when you wake up, you can have the possibility of gaining knowledge before going to school. The time of the Liberian people is now. My class is done. Have a good day.